Hello, my name is Jenny Gonzalez, and this is my technical literacy assignment. And I'm going to be talking about elasticity, cost, and customers. A lot of time firms try to bring down the price of production in order to get more profit, but it doesn't always work. Sometimes they'll decrease the amount or price of production and end up getting less profit due to bad resources, but other times it will work for them. All this leads to inelastic and elastic demands. An elastic demand is a change in quantity demanded due to the large change in price, while an inelastic demand is a change in quantity due to the small change in price. With inelastic demands, it gives a lot lower prices, and elastic demand, there's a slight decrease in price. In this picture, this is an example of inelastic demand. See how product is up here and product is down here. There's a big decrease compared to elastic demand, where original and then the second one is a smaller decrease. In the reading of chapter 5 and the article, I think that the factor that determines how firms pass on costs and retain profit shares from sales of a product when the key input prices fluctuate is due to key input. It all comes from what resources are being used to make these products, and all of this leads to if the products will end up being good or bad. The article mentions aspirins and coffees, and for me, in my opinion, aspirin is an inelastic demand curve, because they'll always try to use a better resource, and that will result in a small change in price. Better resources meaning in that they'll always want aspirin to be better for the people and won't try to make cheap aspirin where it won't work for people, and then people will stop buying it. Coffee depends on the people, like for example, or the company. For example, McDonald's has not the best coffee. People still buy it, people still enjoy it, while Starbucks has a lot better coffee, as well as Dunkin'. And people still also buy it a lot more than McDonald's coffee, but McDonald's coffee is still bought a lot of the times. That way, it depends on the company and depends on also the resources and how it's being made and how good it is. Looking at the figure, I think elastic demand is more beneficial to consumers in terms of price decrease, because it decreases the price more. Yes, it's still a better resource, but it decreases the price more. The situation that'll lead to a fall in sales revenue for producers with the discovery of new technology is an elastic demand, because new technology is a better resource that will lead to better production. And yes, the prices will increase, but people will always want better stuff over worse stuff. And that's why producers are still inclined to using new technology in all this production process. Food is generally inelastic, which there's a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes food will have less production, or something will happen where it will decrease the production or increase the production. And if there's a surge in production, to me, it'll be a elastic demand curve, because a lot of production means there's a lot more to sell, so they'll start selling at lower prices to get all of that sold, especially if they have expiration dates and it goes bad or something. They'll always try to sell it fast, so that way it's sold at a less price. Now, if there's poor weather or factors that make the crops decrease, I think it's an inelastic curve demand because the weather and all these factors that make crops decrease are resources, meaning there's a bigger decrease in price and they'll have to start selling them at a lower price. Going back to the elastic, I think elastic demand will have a lower price change because they have so much to sell, not a bigger decrease in price. It'll be a less decrease because there's so much production they have to sell and shouldn't be at a less price. Hope that made sense.